Authors Mark Cornelius and Traci Loecker share their experiences exploring methods for illuminating a storyline to maximize the writer-reader relationship. Writers Wrestling invites you to join in on a conversation not about what to write, but about how to write. Traci Loecker, how are you doing?
Doing great, Mark. How about you?
I am blessed and right here awake, like you said, we're alert on a Wednesday morning,
Yep.
ready to go. I see it's sun shining out at your place.
Yep.
And so it must be at mine too, except for I don't have a window in my office. So,
I should maybe try that. I think maybe I get sidetracked having this window.
oh no, 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 no. Keep the wind, trust me, keep the window. Okay. Keep the window and the coffee going.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. So cheers to everyone else out there. And Traci and I have been talking about doing something a little out of the tradition. And we're going to do this, try to do it every time we have an episode, but we're going to throw out a challenge to everyone, right, Traci?
Exactly.
And so this is actually and hopefully it will encourage you to go back and look at the last episode. But this goes back to the last episode when we were talking about literary devices. And so we took a step back into last week. By the way, that's an ellipsis or flashback. And, we'd like to have everyone try and use a literary device of their choosing. They can look it up and decide every week. And then your favorite, whatever you come up with, send it to us and we'll shout it out. So, if it's sun shining or if it's raining cats and dogs out, ahem, that would be an idiom or maybe a hyperbole, right? Or you can just pour out your poetry. So I'll let you figure out which one that is. But that would be something that we would love to hear from you, just to practice and improve your craft, so to speak, expand your horizons. So anyway, try that. Send us your suggestions or your favorites, and we'll go from there. But meanwhile, we are going to go ahead and start our session. And excuse me while I get everything started on my side.
Mark, should we give a quick shout out for those who accepted our challenge last week?
Thank you, because I was just about to ask you to do the same. So go ahead, give a shout out.
Well, we want to give a shout out to our friend Christina, who submitted a poem. I submitted one.
Wait a minute. Two poems, Christine.
Poems. Yes, yes, that's right. Two poems.
Kudos.
Two beautiful poems that she submitted. And I submitted one, and then Mark, you submitted one as well. So I'm very proud of us.
I'm, yes, thank you very much. It was fun and challenging, honestly, because I am much more, uh, oh man, I'm going to do a word pun here, much more prose addict,
Mm-hmm.
prosetic, anyway, than I am poetic. So it was a challenge. It is. Poetry does not come to me naturally, but I enjoy the try.
Right. Yeah.
And yours is beautiful. Both.
And I went back and made some changes to it, which you can do as a writer. You go ahead and, tighten.
Wait a minute. You can edit.
You can absolutely edit. Yes.
I can edit my stuff. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Yes. Well, that's a great point, Traci. We feel like we put something out and just there it is. There it is. What do you think? It was okay. Well, What do you mean? Or just you go back and read your own stuff. Your stuff can change.
Yeah.
That is the power of the pen.
And don't you agree, like the when you read it to somebody, and I want their initial reaction. Like, what is the first couple of things you think of? Or what did you what did you read in it that kind of threw you off or didn't? And so I really did appreciate some of that feedback from a couple of my friends. And I'm like, you know what, I knew what I was trying to get to in some of the lines, but it wasn't the exact word I was looking for. I needed to just give it a little bit more thought, and then I was able to tweak it up a little bit. So,
You had to fight for your images.
exactly. Yep.
Okay, what literary device is that? It's a metaphor. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but
Right.
anyways, that is exactly it. And poetry is that's probably the most difficult part of poetry. You write something, and in your heart and mind, it means this wonderful thing, and you show it to someone else, they go, "What?" you know.
Right.
But that's in all writing, actually. So don't be discouraged by that, folks. Be challenged.
Yep. Yep.
Be challenged. So, okay. And thank you. Yes. Thanks for the shout out to Christine and to you and moi.
Yes.
Okay. And that leads us to our subject for the day, which we better get to so we don't run out of our 15 minutes, you know. But we are going to be talking about the difference between what, Tracy?
Fiction and nonfiction, and then historical fiction.
Yes, exactly. Well, and that fits right into that blurred line.
Yes.
So you have this everyone thinks, including myself, I have thought this, that there's such a great difference between fiction and nonfiction. Some of you write one, some of you write another. I have written both. And so I'm going to ask you, Tracy, what is your favorite, fiction or nonfiction?
Um, Mine is definitely fiction.
Okay, because
Because I don't know, I think I just like the imagination of,
hmm,
trying to, and maybe down, I am not ready to be, like memoir style fact. I'm not ready to do that yet.
hmm,
I like more of bringing the story that I want to bring to the reader. I want to be able to cultivate that the way I want.
okay,
That
fair
makes sense.
enough.
Okay.
And that's a preference. I, you know what? I have difficulty because when I start writing one way or the other, I say, "Hey, I really enjoy this." So it's a
Mhm.
nonfiction. One of the things that is important to realize, it takes me probably longer to write a nonfiction book
Mhm.
because it has to be nonfiction.
Right. Right.
It-
Accurate and yes, research.
research, research, research.
Mhm.
And opinions count, but sometimes they don't matter.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I've read a lot of things out there that are people's opinion, and you realize very quickly that they have an agenda. And I won't say I don't have one, but I try to be very balanced in when I write nonfiction, and keep my opinions more to the fiction side of things
Mhm.
because not everyone has the same opinion.
Right.
And so that's going to ask you. I'm going to ask you. My tongue just got all tangled up. I don't know what kind of a literary device that is, but
Right.
um, Have you tried, Tracy, writing outside your favorite boundaries?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like okay, so this weekend I had a big weekend real quick. We had a big family reunion of sorts. And so I really tried. I knew going into the weekend that I was really going to try to document as much as I could because and this is why, because I thought if we didn't have our phones and
Mhm.
our cameras at the ready like we do now 24/7, back in the day, what did they do to um what's the word I'm trying to to remember the memories or to remember well, they documented.
Yeah.
And so and so I really tried to document everything, as I walked away and I could talk into my phone. I wanted to document as much of the conversations, feelings, everything. And I mean, I got to tell you, I really loved it. And so I know that is not I guess that's probably the closest I've gotten
It's,
to
yeah, and that's a great exercise doing family history.
yeah,
I'm toying. We have done family histories. Patty and I, my wife, have done family histories for both sides, but I have a very direct connection in relatives in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, to the Civil War.
okay,
Uh, People who were living there and acting there and being there during the battle and before and after.
wow.
So, lots been written about that, and it's a real big territory. But to have relatives who were there and speak through the history of their eyes, could be a fun exercise.
Mhm.
Lots of research.
Right, right,
So, okay, so there you go. And I would beg to differ with you that you haven't done other things in that, um, because they loved him. I
yeah,
had a lot of uh, factual information woven into it.
true.
Okay, okay, good.
Thank you for yes, I guess, yeah, you are correct, which is kind of brings in the historical fiction
Uh-huh.
or, some of that too, because you're bringing in factual pieces, but the characters maybe aren't factual, so
Right,
that's
right.
so
Great point. Because you're writing, a historical piece, do the characters have to be real? No, they
right,
just have to be in real times.
right,
And then you have to be careful to keep them in period, because that's the other thing. History for us does not begin until we are born.
right, right.
I mean, I wrote that in a book somewhere, but it's true. Um, we think in our contemporary way. And
Right.
when you start writing historical fiction, you have to start adapting to where we were, where they were at that time. Uh,
Which can be so interesting, right? What like you said, research, research, research.
yeah,
Oh, then I feel like it's hard to like come out of that rabbit hole because once I start, reading about certain areas in South Dakota or, it's just like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. And
favorite author of mine helped me through those things, and I'll just recommend him to anyone. But I will also warn you about it, and it's James Michener, um, who is kind of the king of historical fiction. uh, he just writes into a period or a country or a location, and just dives in and takes you back in time in just extraordinary ways. But his books are this thick, or maybe that thick. You be ready for 1,000-page read, easy,
okay.
but fabulous, fabulous stuff. And then there are authors who skirt that borderline and go into writing um, non-historical fiction, but like oh, I can't remember his name, and I'll just lose it if I try to dig into that. There are
Okay.
writers who will take a period like Pearl Harbor,
Hmm.
they'll write a story about what would have happened if the Japanese had actually invaded Hawaii,
Uh-huh.
and what would that look like? Or Germany, if the Germans had won World War II,
Right.
and right into that fictional portrayal. That's a powerful place to go because it reshapes history or a consideration of what if.
Right.
Okay. Um, so that being said, what does separate fiction from nonfiction, Tracy?
That's a good question, Mark. I think you should answer that.
Well, I could make up an answer, and that would be fictional, wouldn't it? Or um,
Oh,
they're both literary when you're writing or documenting, um, but fiction gives you more liberty to create characters, landscapes, situations, events, on and on it goes. Where nonfiction encourages you to at least formulate things that are in our either our current or our past reality. And there's so many variations on those. You can go right down to I know a guy who was very successful at writing math books. Well, that's as nonfiction as you can get, but he
right.
was good at it, and he laid it out in a way that was actually enjoyable to read. And imagine that I could not do that, but he can. So fiction gives you a finite way of looking at things, and a nonfiction does, and it also invites people to explore. My first successful book out there was Rut Management, and it was pretty much all nonfiction, but I had fun with it,
Right.
and I put a lot of twists in there and things for people to consider. So the difference is really weaving in facts is essential to one nonfiction.
Right.
Whereas with fiction, you can weave in facts, but also have all the liberty you want to be uber creative
Right.
and uber illustrative. Let's put it that way. Ooh, wow. Uh, okay. I hope I answered that well for everyone. But
I
try
think.
just try them and see. You could still have fun with nonfiction. That's a big mistake that people make, thinking, "Oh, that has to be dry." No, it does not.
Right. Right.
Or fiction. Gee, I have to, I can't put in real characters. Well, you could take a character that well, a real person, and give them a different name, and suddenly it's fiction,
Right.
right? Or you can give them the same name, but write them into a fictional tale.
Yeah.
What liberty you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so that also answered the next question I had. Can fiction be factual?
Right.
And sure it can. Can nonfiction be fun? Again, already answered.
Yeah.
Well, try reading a book that is a fun, factual, or nonfiction book, and you'll see. You'll see they're out there.
Right.
Um, can nonfiction be dramatic?
Yes.
Yes. Any examples?
Um. Well, memoirs that people write.
There you go.
Right.
Excellent. Excellent. Um, and then also just historical experiences. I've read a book that terrified me, and it was when the first Ebola outbreak came up years and years ago. Nobody knew what the stuff was and how it was transmitted, and I thought we were all going to die.
Mhm.
I thought I put that book down and said, "Okay, I'm packing my bags. I'm going."
Yeah.
But that was dramatic and well written. Um, So the line blurs, and you brought up a great subject matter, historical fiction.
Mhm.
So, folks, we'd love your input on this. Tell us your favorites. Tell us why. Send in your literary device that you would like to share with everyone, or that you would like to share with us at least, and we'll go on. Tracy, do you want to talk about our upcoming events?
Yeah, so I think our next one upcoming is next Thursday, right? So a week from tomorrow, out at Lee's Red Barn.
That's correct.
And we will be doing recording a podcast in front of an audience. The podcast won't be shooting live, but we will be recording it from Lee's Red
With
Barn.
a live participating audience, or non-participatory. Yes,
Right. But somehow I feel like it always becomes like we always have a little bit of participation, which
absolutely.
I like it.
We encourage people to join in, but
Yes.
you don't feel like you have to.
Right, right, right. And then I don't know, our next ones are, I don't know.
Well, we'll get to those when we get to those. But yeah,
Good.
let's just go for our number one here. So, all ye local people, hear ye, come to Lee's Red Barn a week from Thursday, the 30th, I believe, of
Yes.
July.
Yeah,
And we would love to see you there. And or get your plane tickets, or get in your car and start driving right now.
that'd be awesome.
In the meantime, Tracy Lecker, have a wonderful day.
You too, Mark.
A um, and proceed prosperously.
Awesome.
Okay, that was alliteration. Yeah. Anyway, right on, right on. Anything else?
I don't think so. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week, everyone, and right on. We'll see. Thanks for joining Writers Wrestling. Feel free to communicate with us with questions, reactions, and suggestions. You can also visit our websites for more information.